Hello and welcome. I am Conan Lybarian with Obsidian Portal, and today I wanted to talk to you about where you roll your dice. Now, I know rolling digital dice right now is very popular and in a lot of cases very easy, with most gaming being online given the circumstances. The tools that we use are mostly digital. I, however, can't be that guy. When I roll dice, I need something physical. I love the sound, I love the feeling, I love that excitement when you roll that physical die and you watch it land, or that hilarity when you roll a die and it flies off the table and you have to either try to argue with your DM that the 20 you rolled off the table should count, or argue that it rolled off the table and your fumble absolutely doesn't count because it rolled off the table. I personally have to roll physical die. So I was lucky enough a couple months ago to get to meet Jesse from Attercop Gaming Products, and I have to say I was blown away, not just by what he brought and put on the table to show me what he was working on and what he was about to put out, but I was super impressed with just his attitude about it. Attercop Gaming Products isn't just about making a nice thing to have at the table. Jesse cares about the community and cares about the craft of tabletop gaming itself, and honestly, it shows. Now, what I have is one of his earlier models here. I don't know if there are even many of these left on his Etsy store. You'll have to check it out. He's advanced so much even further than this, but just this, what some people might consider simple vault, is fantastic. The quality itself, the feel, the sound. I know that seems small, but for me, as someone who needs something and loves that solid feel, it's awesome. I love that the dice vault, it sits right in the top or the bottom, fits and seats perfectly in this. It's not going to fall out just when you're moving it around the table. The vault itself is super solid, and when you pull it apart, you hear those magnets, super strong magnets. It's not going to come apart. Now, I've got a couple just regular dice in here. That's such a good sound. But this is also designed with an insert, so if you wanted to, and I've got a good example here, if you want to put in something heavier, slightly bigger, I've got these metal die, and you can see they're definitely heavier. You can hear them, and they're definitely feeling more solid. And even so, this thing is not coming apart, even with these heavy metal dice in it, which I think is just awesome. I think there's a lot of products out there that's good for the basics, but this is something you can really get into and use and feel good about using. The tray itself is not just, it sounds so good, not just nice to look at, but it's functional at the table. So on the bottom, and some of his newer products, some of the newer designs have different styles of this, but these grips on the bottom mean that this thing is not going to slip all over. It's not going to slide. You're going to set it down and it's going to seat. When I was using it here for this last game, I was doing some streaming for GaryCon. Right here in my little studio, I was using it for some extra dice. I was using it for my pencils. I even have minis. The point is, this is something you can use as a practical tool at the table while you're playing. It's not just a pretty thing. It's not just neat to look at. It's functional. It's solid. It's not going to come apart, and it's going to last. I think that's really important. There are too many gaming products out there that I'm just as guilty as anyone else, that you pick up these products and they're cool for a couple sessions, or they last a little bit, and then they start to kind of chip, they start to wear, they start to really become more awkward and hectic when you realize really what their quality is. Attercop Gaming Product makes something that's going to last, something that's fun to use, something that feels good, something that sounds good, and something that's going to continue to be part of my collection. And I know I'm going to pick up some vaults that he's got. I know there are a couple other products coming out. The engravings looking better and better. I just wanted to put it out there that Attercop Gaming Product for me is what I've been looking for. I think a lot of people look at price points and products out there and think, well, that's neat, but what's the point? Why would I want to get into something like this? The reason to do something like this is because you care about your dice, because you like having something solid, and because it's practical and something to have fun with. It's something to brag about. It's something that I think everyone who's looked into a product like this should check out, because I've found now what I'm happy with after years of rolling off the table and rolling into any sort of container I can find. So go on to the Etsy store, check it out on Twitter, Attercop Gaming Products. I'll drop a link. I really recommend. Find this, roll some dice in it. I think you'll be just as happy and impressed as I am. It's Conan Lybarian with Obsidian Portal. I appreciate you taking the time.